Staff Sergeant Mara Kade clamped her gloved hand around Private Ellis's harness and dragged him backward through the mud-slick drainage culvert. His blood smeared her fatigues, but she ignored it. Alien shouts echoed from the ridge above, Veyra's vanguard closing fast. "Stay with me, Ellis." She wedged him against the culvert wall. His chest rose in shallow gasps. The radio tech's kit lay shattered beside him, but the comms pack hummed faintly. Kade ripped open his vest. She yanked the main unit free, wires dangling, and slapped it onto her thigh plate. Good enough. Explosions rocked the canyon as the aliens' lead crawlers hammered the bridge. Kade peeked out. 10,000 troops massed on the far side, Veyra's banner fluttering atop a golden command skimmer. The Empress herself watched from a ridge perch, her iridescent scales gleaming under floodlights. Flanked by honor guards and a robed figure scribbling on a data slate. Probably that war archivist drone. They expected surrender. Kade thumbed her detonator. Not today. She mashed the trigger. The bridge's center span erupted in a fireball. Steel screamed and twisted, plunging into the canyon river below. Alien crawlers skidded to a halt at the edge. Shouts turned to chaos. Vanguard troops poured down the embankment, forced into the shallow ford. Perfect. Kade slung her rifle and Ellis's comms pack. She crawled out, keeping low. Gravel crunched under her boots as she dashed to the ford's midpoint. The river rushed knee-deep, cold and swift. Alien scouts crested the opposite ridge, their multi-jointed limbs flashing. One raised a spotter drone. Red targeting lasers danced across the water. Kade dropped prone. She unslung her demo satchel. 20 anti-personnel mines, each the size of a fist. She jammed the first into the gravel, arming it with a twist. Laser swept closer. Pew, pew. Plasma bolts scorched the air overhead. She rolled left, gravel biting her elbows. The scouts painted her position, chittering in their tongue over open channels. Her kit auto-translated fragments, human confirmed. "Soft target, advance." Kade buried the second mine. Water lapped her boots. She pictured the ford like a checklist. Entry points, bunch-up zones, kill boxes. No panic, just work. Third, mine. Fourth, lasers pinned her now. 3 scouts, relaying to artillery crawlers. Bolts chewed the bank behind her. She low-crawled 10 meters, placed the 5th amid submerged rocks. A bolt clipped her pack. Sparks flew. Comms hissed static, but held. She kept moving. 6th, 7th. The vanguard hit the water. Hundreds of scaled troops, waiting in formation. They saw her. Roars echoed. The lone soft skin, crush it. Kade armed the 8th mine. Her stopwatch ticked. 4:32 since bridge drop. Plenty of time. Plasma fire intensified. She zigzagged, rifle up. Cracked off 3 shots. First scout tumbled, drone exploding in midair. The other 2 ducked, but kept painting. 9th mine. Troops reached the gravel bar, boots splashing. They fanned out. Probing. 11. A vanguard squad charged her position, lances glowing.
Kade rolled behind the boulder.
Boom. First stepper hit a mine. Shrapnel shredded his legs. His squad mates tripped the next 2. Limbs flew. Screams pierced the roar. Kade popped up. Rifle barked. 2 down. The survivors scattered, calling for heavies. She placed 12th through 15th in a chevron pattern. Lasers hunted her. A bolt burned her sleeve. Skin blistered, but she clamped it down. Focus. Stopwatch, 7:14. Vanguard reformed, crawlers edging into the ford behind them. Kade slapped in the last 5 mines, fastest yet. She backpedaled to the culvert, rifle covering. Time to call it in. She keyed the comms pack. "Captain Rourke, this is Kade. Bridge down, ford mined, vanguard pinned." Requesting a static crackled. Rourke's voice cut through calm as ever. 10,000 inbound, ma'am. I hold the choke, but I don't need bodies. Give me time. Traps set. Alien bolts zipped past her cover. Time for what, Sergeant? Ceasefire, sir, or their whole host bleeds out here. Rourke chuckled low. Bold. Fleets in position. I'll relay to command. No heroes, just results. Copy.
Kade cut the link. She sighted the remaining scouts.
Crack. 1 dropped. Crack. The last spun away, clutching his scope. Vanguard pushed harder now. Hundreds waited, lances sweeping for her. Mines claimed the bold ones. Explosions chained, turning the ford into a grinder. Bodies clogged the flow, slowing the rest. Kade picked shots methodically. Headshot. Leg shot down into the water. Her mag ran dry, She swapped, never rushing. From the ridge, Veyra's skimmer hovered closer. The Empress stood tall, mandibles clicking fury. Her guards pointed. Kade waved once, deliberate, translated chatter spiked. She defies. No fear, the robed archivist, soul in her kit pinged, scribbled furiously, data slate glowing. He gestured wildly at Veyra. Empress, observe. The human computes without terror. Our doctrine. Veyra slashed a claw. Water. Overwhelm. Crawlers lumbered forward, treads grinding gravel. Cade thumbed her last demo charge, bridge rubble rigged as a bonus.
She let them bunch. Stopwatch, 12:47.
First crawler triggered a minefield edge. Tracks blew skyward, second plowed into the wreck, turret slewing. Cade fired into vision slits. Driver slumped. Troops swarmed around the hulks. Mines ripped through ranks. The forward ran red. Veyra's skimmer banked sharply. Selton's voice broke through intercepted command net. Casualties exceed projections. This human, imperial fear calculus fails. Kade ignored it. She reloaded, breath steady. Another squad crested the gravel. Lance fire scorched her boulder. She flanked left, into ankle water. Mine claimed the leader. She gunned the rest. Rourke's comms beeped. Kade. Fleet reports alien flanks exposed. Empress signaling parley. Your hour's at 20 minutes. Status? Holding, sir. Ford's a meat grinder. They learn slow.
Keep them busy. Troops faltered now.
Waiters hesitated, eyes on floating dead. Veyra bellowed orders. Kade heard the translation. Press! Fear breaks them, but it didn't. A heavy crawler pushed through, cannon charging. Cade dashed right, plasma grazing her boot. She slapped a magmine to its underbelly mid-stride. Demo knife work, detonated on timer. Crawler erupted, spraying troops. Sullen's feed spiked again. Empress withdraw. Human competence scales. Numbers mean nothing. Veyra's mandibles ground. Her host milled, momentum gone. Stopwatch, 29:12. Cade stood tall in the culvert mouth. Rifle smoking. She keyed open channel. Empress Veyra. Ford's yours if you want it. Ceasefire, or I reset the clock. Silence. Then her voice boomed, laced with static. Human, you stand alone. Numbers don't fight. Discipline does. Veyra's skimmer descended slowly. Sulm clutched his slate, optics wide. The host froze. Rourke cut in private. Fleet locked. Alien skimmers hummed low over the ford, disgorging troops into the shallows. Cade thumbed the first detonator. The ground erupted. Mines chewed through the front rank, spraying chitin and green ichor across the water. She dropped the lead waiter with a headshot. His squad scattered, lances stabbing blind. Kade rolled left behind her boulder, rifle barking. 2 more down. The rest hunkered, calling for their controller. Her scope found him atop a rise, mandibles clicking into a comm slate. 1 round cracked his carapace. He toppled, the advance collapsed. Squads milled, leaderless clusters firing wild into the mist. Kade keyed her wrist comm. Rourke, controller down. They're clustering. Copy Cade. Timer at 58. Fleet pings flanks wide open. Hold the ford. She grinned, teeth gritted. Checklist item 1. Disrupt command. Done. Next cluster pushed forward, wading knee-deep. Kade hit the second mine sequence. Bursts rippled along the bank, funneled by submerged stakes. Survivors bolted right, straight into her pre-sighted kill lanes. She stitched them from the hip, rounds punching through jointed armor. Water churned pink. A lance bolt scorched her rock. She popped smoke from her launcher. Gray clouds bloomed, masking her flank. Alien optics whirred, scanning phantoms. Katie relocated. 20 meters right, belly crawl through mud. She fired a burst from the new angle. 3 fell. Smoke tricked them. Lances slashed left and right. They're biting the feint, sir. Mines halved their push. Empress's host hesitating. Keep the pressure. She checked her mag. 70 rounds left. Reloading low crawl, she spotted a downed drone bobbing in the current. Alien squad link, pulsing weak signal, prize. Cod lunged, snagged it midstream. Cold water shocked her knees. She yanked the core chip, slotted it into her rifle's auxiliary port. Hack sequence ran. Green light, false signals flooded upstream. Phantom squads flanking left. Heavies massing center. She fed it all. From her vantage, skimmers banked sharp. Troops pulled back, mandibles agape. Translation feed crackled in her earpiece. Their open channel. Flank breach. Heavies incoming. Kade suppressed a laugh. Competence stacked the deck. Another wave crested the gravel bar. Heavy crawler rumbled behind. Cannon whining charge. She flanked into ankle water, breath steady. Lance fire boiled the stream beside her. Mine claimed the crawler lead. She gunned the escorts. The beast barreled on. Cade dashed right, plasma grazing her boot. Demo knife out. She slapped a magmine to its underbelly mid-stride. Timer armed. Backpedal. Crawler lurched. Mine blew. Flames jetted, spraying troops in molten arcs. Wreckage blocked the ford. Her timer beeped. 42 minutes. Alien host milled, waiters hesitating amid floating dead. Skimmer descended low. Empress Veyra's silhouette loomed, gilded armor gleaming. War Archivist Selen clutched his slate beside her, optics darting. Kade heard the bellow, translated sharp. Press. Fear breaks them. Troops surged again. Kade triggered the last mine line. Kill lanes lit up. She relocated through smoke, firing from a third position. Drone feed showed their confusion. False signals painting her as a platoon. Squads fragmented. One cluster veered into stakes, self-inflicted. Another drone dropped, smashed. Cade scooped its chip too. Doubled the ghosts. Kade, fleet reports alien flanks exposed. Empress signaling parley. Your hours at 20 minutes. Status? Holding, sir. Ford's a meat grinder. They learn slow. Copy. Keep them busy. She did. Burst from the culvert mouth, downed a lancer. Smoke canister arced left, drawing fire. Real shot came right. 4 more. Veyra's mandibles ground audible over open channel. Troops faltered. A final crawler pushed through wreckage. Treads grinding dead. Kade rolled prone. Knife work again. No time for mines. She crawled under its skirt as it passed, slapped the last demo charge.
Detonation rocked the ford. Shrapnel hailed.
Crawler flipped, crushing its own squad. Cell's voice spiked on intercepted feed. Empress, withdraw. Human competence scales. Numbers mean nothing. Host stalled. Momentum shattered. Kade stood in the culvert mouth, rifle smoking. Timer, 20 seconds. 1 day's 12 seconds. She keyed open channel, voice calm. Empress Veyra, Ford's yours if you want it. Ceasefire, or I reset the clock. Silence stretched. Ripples lapped it dead. Skimmer hovered closer. Veyra's voice boomed, static-laced. Human, you stand alone. Numbers don't fight. Discipline does. Rourke cut private. Fleet locked on their capital ships. Parley or plasma. Skimmer touched down on the far bank. Veyra stepped off, robes swirling. 6 guards flanked her, lances lowered. Selen trailed, slate glowing with feeds. Kade advanced to mid-ford, rifle slung but ready. She stopped 10 meters out. Veyra's optics narrowed, multifaceted eyes tracing the carnage. Your kind scatters before empires. Yet here.
You threw numbers.
Cade nodded to the drone chip on her belt. Saw your signals. Clean hack. Selden edged forward, voice ready. Archivist log. Human repurposes tool in seconds. Imperial drones keyed to squad biometrics. Veyra silenced him with a claw. Fleet? Cade glanced skyward. Human gunships ghosted clouds, alien flanks bare. Pull back. No orbital strike. No ground push. Empire sues for terms off-world. Guards shifted. Veyra's mandibles clicked. Calculation. 1 soldier turns host. 1 disciplined. Cade tapped her wrist. Clock ticks. Selman slate pinged. Empress fleet confirms lock. Human collaboration. Infantry pens. Orbitals threaten. Veyra raised a claw. Troops withdrew, skimmers lifting. Ceasefire holds. Parley at neutral relay. Transmit coordinates. Kade keyed Rourke. Sir. Green. Terms set. Outstanding, Sergeant. Extract vector inbound. Fleet stands down on your mark. She marked it. Skimmer rose. Veyra aboard. Selen stared back, optics wide. Questioning etched in his stance. Kade waited clear. Ford silent save ripples. Checklist complete. Hour held. Empire blinked first. But as gunship thrummed in, her scope caught it. Distant alien reinforcements cresting hills. Veyra's ploy? She unslung. Discipline never slept. Rourke. Cade? New contacts? Copy. Resetting clock. Gunship doors cycled. She boarded mid-stride. Rounds chambered. Ford secured. War just paused. Veyra's skimmer banked away. Selen's final log whispered on drone intercept. Doctrine error. Fear yields to method. Kade smiled. Humans taught that lesson cheap. Enemy probes tested the perimeter an hour later. Cade's platoon dropped in hot, Rourke directing from command skiff. Kill lanes cleared. Vera signaled compliance. Fleets disengaged, but Cell's feed lingered in archives. Humans fight as system. Empire as wave. Waves break. Parley convened. Terms carved. No incursion, trade pacts, borders redrawn. Cade stood post, watching stars. Competence beat numbers. Always. One soldier proved it. Skimmer thrusters scorched the ridge as Empress Vera Calith's craft locked into place. Ramp hissed open. Vera strode out, her iridescent carapace gleaming under dual suns, flanked by War Archivist Cell and a honor guard of 20 lancers. She raised one clawed limb. Encircle the human. No escape. Let her final stand edify our legions. Cade bellied down in the Ford's mud-slick choke point, scope crosshairs steady on the Empress. 3 hours. That's how long she'd held this river crossing alone. Platoon pulled back on Rourke's order, leaving her to pin the probe. Rifle barked twice. Nearest lancer crumpled, thorax shattered. The rest scattered behind boulders. Vera tilted her elongated head, mandibles clicking amusement. One soft skin. Broadcast her end. Selenol. All frequencies. Cade's gloved hand snatched a fallen alien repeater from the shallows. Its previous owner floated face down 10 meters upstream, courtesy of her last mag dump. She jammed a jury-rigged translator spike into its port.
Static cleared.
Vera's voice filled her earpiece, sharp and sibilant through the filter. Flank left via the eastern scree. Right pushes the gullies. Compress when the human flees. She will flee. Cade smiled, teeth gritted, not fleeing. Adapting. She slung her rifle, crawled backward through ankle-deep current. Goal, turn retreat into killbox. 50 meters upstream, her demo pack waited. Shaped charges from the platoon's cache, wired to a single detonator. She yanked the retreat route's choke, a narrow defile between sheer rock walls, and laced it with tripwires, claymores angled for maximum fragmentation. Pursuit corridor primed, 5 minutes. Checklist ticking. Lancers advanced, plasma lances humming blue. Skimmers whirred overhead, spotters scanning. Cade popped her last smoke grenade rearward, veiling the defile entrance. She double-timed back to the Ford's lip, dropped prone. Earpiece crackled, eastern flank in position. Human withdraws. Vera's claws scraped her skimmer's rail. Predictable. Mammals break under inevitability.
Selman's voice cut in, stylus tapping his log pad. Empress, thermal shows movement in the defile.
She booby traps? Irrelevant. Waves overwhelm. Cade chambered a fresh round. Encirclement closed. 40 lancers low-crawling the flanks, 10 skimmers hovering blockade. But she didn't need to. Rourke's trap waited orbital, fleet mast unseen, strike cued on her mark. Goal, make Vera blink first. She yanked the flare pistol, sighted Vera's ridge perch dead center. Fired. Crimson starburst rocketed skyward, bursting brilliant over the Empress's command post. Vera flinched, optics narrowing against the glare. What insolence! Lancers poured into the defile, chasing smoke trails. First tripwire snapped. Claymore whomped. Shrapnel sleeted the corridor. 5 down, torsos pulped, survivors charged. Second wire. Twin blasts caved the walls inward, crushing skimmer under rubble. 10 more gone, screams echoed, alien harmonics piercing the din. Cade's scope tracked Vera rigid on the ridge, claws locked on the rail. Selman beside her, optics whirring focus, stylus frozen mid-stroke. Pull back, Vera snarled into her calm. But flanks tangled in the chaos, lancers bottlenecked, plasma fire wild. Cade rose to a knee, rifle steady, pinned the lead skimmer's canopy. Cracked it open. Pilot slumped. Craft yawed, plowing into the Ford shallows, blocking the center. Perfect. Earpiece. Rourke's voice calm ice.
Cade, status. Green, sir.
Vera's watching the show. Copy. Fleet on standby, break her. Third wave funneled tight. Cade triggered the finale. Demo pack under the Ford's gravel bar. Riverbed erupted, geysers of mud and limbs. Skimmers flipped. Lancers drowned in the flash flood of silt-choked water. 20 seconds. 20 kills. Vera's guard yanked her toward the ramp.
Empress, withdraw. No.
Her voice boomed over open channel translator, blasting Cade's repeater.
Human, yield or perish.
Cade keyed her own comb, broadcasting wide. Sergeant Cade, nah. Your move, Empress.
Silence stretched. Sellen's log feed leaked through the hijack.
Adapts, imperial waves, fracture, Veyra's mandibles ground. Host remnants milled down to 30 effectives. Skimmers smoked hulks. Orbital window closed. Human fleet signatures blinked on her scopes now. Knives at the Empire's throat. Cease fire, Veyra hissed. Parley. Kade didn't lower her rifle. Terms first. Fleets stand down. Borders hold. Transmit cords. Rourke chimed. Solid copy. Marking extract. Skimmer ramp sealed. Veyra's craft lifted, banking away. Sullen lingered a beat, optics locked on Cade through the dust. Then gone. Cady waited the ford, rifle slung. Checklist done. 4 hours held. 1 soldier. Gunship rotors thumped inbound. She boarded, scanning hills. No new probes. Yet, Rourke's voice, debrief at base. You just schooled an empire.
Affirm. Katie chambered around.
Discipline waited for no one, but as the gunship climbed, her scope caught it. Distant dust plumes. Reinforcements. Veyra's reserves.
Earpiece crackled. Cade. Eyes on. Copy.
Clock reset. Platoon dropped hot 30 mics out. Rourke's skiff vectoring. Mines relayed. Lanes cleared. Veyra signaled parley compliance. Fleets peeled back. Sounds intercepted log whispered final. Human method. System over swarm. Doctrine revises. Kade watched stars wheel. Competence carved empires. One hold at a time. Enemy scouts probed anew. Cade's squad fanned kill zones. Her at point, Veyra's host encircled distant, testing nerves. Steady, she murmured. Lance fire splashed rock. She snap-fired back. 1 down.
Rourke overhead, hold 'em, Sergeant. Trap springs on your green.
Green given. Orbitals kissed the reserves. Plasma lances silenced mid-charge. Empire remnants routed. Parley sealed at neutral relay. Veyra's hologram flickered in. Human competence noted. Borders redrawn. Trade opens. Cade stood silent post. No gloat, just reload. Sellen's archive leaked later. Fear variable neutralized. Empire adapts. Or breaks. Stars burned cold. 1 soldier proved it. Numbers bowed. Staff Sergeant Mara Cade squeezed the trigger. Her rifle barked twice. The lead alien scout crumpled into the ford's shallow water. Purple blood clouding the stream. Dust plumes swelled behind it. Heavy walkers crested the ridge. 6-legged behemoths, each the size of a tank, plasma cannons swiveling. Veyra's reinforcements to crush the choke point. Kade ducked behind her barricade of fused rock and scrap. Her squad's positions dotted the canyon lips, but she held the ford alone now. Last man down 10 minutes ago. Walkers inbound. She keyed her comm. Lure primed. Rourke's voice cut through static. Copy, Cade. Hold the line. Artillery on standby. The walkers thundered forward. Ground shook under their vibrolegs. Cady popped up, fired a burst at the sensor cluster on the nearest. Sparks flew. It veered toward her bait, a cluster of fake supply crates in the ford's center. Come on, she muttered. She snap-fired again, clipping a leg joint. The beast roared hydraulics, accelerated. Behind it 5 more followed. Drones buzzed overhead, scanning. Kade's scope tracked the lead walker's path. Perfect line to the canyon wall. Charges. She bolted left, drawing fire. Plasma bolts scorched her boot heel. She slid into cover, slapped a fresh mag home. Lead walker stomped into the ford. Water surged. It targeted the crates, cannons charging glow. Cade hit the detonator. The canyon wall erupted. Tons of rock avalanched down. Boulders smashed the walker's front legs. It toppled forward, half buried. Cannons firing wild into the sky. Chain reaction hit. Second walker plowed into the debris, legs snapping under rubble. Third twisted to evade. Too late. Slide buried it to the turret. Kade grinned. Dirt caked. 3 down. 3 raging. The survivors pivoted, plasma lancing her position. She rolled, heat singeing her sleeve. Wall dropped. Walkers pinned. Rourke replied instant. Firing for effect. Sync your demo packs, walk 'em into the no-go. Cade scanned the ford. Her demo satchels lined the banks, pre-placed. She dashed to the first, armed at remote. Walkers clawed free. Debris shedding. She keyed channel 2. Rourke, mark my pops. Time the barrages.
Affirm.
First salvo in 30. Lead survivor surged, one leg dragging. Cade fired suppression, pinging optics.
It halted, scanned her. She triggered Satchel 1.
Bank exploded, channeling the slide's remnants into a churning barrier. Walker reared. Rourke's Artie screamed in. Shells bracketed the beast. Shrapnel shredded its hull. It spasmed. Crashed. Beautiful, Cade breathed. She sprinted to Satchel 2. Arm leapfrog right. Second Walker charged the gap. Drones dove low, lasers stitching dirt. Cadet popped smoke from her launcher. Gray veil bloomed. She armed the next pack. Artie whistled again. Impacts walked forward with her demo chain. Walker number 2 detonated mid-stride, legs vaporized. Rourke's calm cut in. Sync perfect. One left. Drones thickening. ME viable, working it. Cadet eyed the pinned wrecks. Opportunity gleamed. The last Walker loomed, cannon sweeping. It fired. Cade dove, blast wave tumbling her. She came up, firing. Bullets sparked off armor. No dent. But its flank hatch hung ajar from the slide. Captured plasma cutter weighed her pack-heavy ordnance from yesterday's scout kill. She slung rifle, drew it. Drones whirred closer, painting her with target locks. Cutter ignited blue plasma torch hissing. She sliced the hatch seal. Metal glowed, parted. Inside, acrid smoke. Alien corpse slumped at controls. Power cell hummed central fist-sized crystal pulsing energy. She yanked cabling, pried it free. Cutter clattered. Cell throbbed hot in her gauntlet. Walker 3 stomped near, shadow falling. Leg slammed rock 10 meters off. Cade bolted out, cell tucked. Got the prize. Rigging EMP. Drones swarmed now, 30 strong. Lasers grazed her shoulder plate. She hit her fallback nest, a shallow overhang laced with wiring from old sensors. Squad's junk drawer. Cell slotted into the improvised rig. Jury-rigged capacitor bank from drone husks, tied to a motion trigger. She'd prepped it yesterday, betting on salvage. Last Walker locked on.
Cannon wind charge. Cade slapped the activator.
Pulse burst outward. Blue wave crackled air. Drones dropped like stones, circuits fried. They plummeted into the Ford, splashing. Walker staggered. Sensors popped offline. It fired blind, plasma veering wide. Cade chambered her rifle.
Drones down.
Green for Artie kill. Rorik, on it. Good work, Sergeant. The final Walker shattered. Silence fell. Ford choked with wreckage. Cade scanned ridges. No more dust plumes. Yet. Her earpiece hissed. Intercepted alien chatter, auto-translated. War Archivist Cell's voice, clipped. Heavy losses. Human adapts traps to our advance. Empress, reconsider frontal? Veyra's reply purred cold. Fear breaks them. Push reserves. Khalid reloaded. Competent stacked bodies.
She keyed Rourke. They ain't done.
Reserves inbound. Trap still hot? Affirm. Platoon dropping 5 mics out. Hold the Ford. She sighted the horizon. Dust rose again. Walker's turned to cover now. Her cover. A drone husk twitched nearby.
She crushed it under boot. One checklist item down.
More thumps echoed. Veyra doubled down.
Cadet smiled thin. Bring it. Empress Veyra Calith's command skiff hovered at Ridgecrest. She watched through magnification field. The human held. Alone. Her walkers, pride of the host. Reduced to scrap tombs. Archivist. She snapped. Logged this incompetence. Sellen's tendrils flickered over his slate. Sergeant Cade, human infantry. Methodical. Turns our strength to obstacle. Veyra's mandibles clicked irritation. Numbers overwhelm. Send the swarm reserves. Swarm downed by improvised pulse.
Doctor Gap. Below, Cadet moved amid the hulks.
She dragged cabling, stacking drone parts, building again. Veyra's crest flared. Fear was her weapon. This human treated it like terrain. Advance, she ordered. Reserves crested. Double the walkers, drone clouds blotting sun. Kadi's rifle cracked. First scout dropped, Sellen logged. Human resets. Empire tests limit. Cade felt the ground tremble anew. Reserves poured in. Walkers wading the debris Ford like it was quicksand. She fired measured, picking joints. One staggered. Rourke overhead. Platoon ETA-2. Artie walking the lane. Affirm. Cade slapped a beacon on a wreck. Sync to this. Drones reformed. Cautious now. Lasers probed. She triggered her next satchel, flanking bank. Rubble shifted, trapping a reserve walker's rear legs.
It howled servos.
Perfect. Artie kissed it. Wreck chained into the next. Veyra's skiff feed zoomed. The human darted between hulks, cutter flashing. Breaching another? Cell murmured. She harvests. Power cells again? Cade sliced clean. Second cell in hand. Rigged fast to a fresh EMP nest. Drones dove. She rolled, pulse bursted. Another swarm blind. Walkers milled confused. Cannon silent. Rourke. Fanning kill zones. Cade's squad mates dropped in, ghosts in the chaos. They took positions. Seamless. She waved one to her nest. Cover Private Cole slotted in beside her, rifle up. On it, Sergeant. Cade nodded once. She scanned the ford. Walkers jammed the debris chute, drones circling wary, reserves massed beyond, hundreds of troops cresting the ridge, banners snapping. Empress's host. Full commitment. Rourke crackled. Inbound massing. Looks like the big push. Your call on the trap. Let him taste it. Cade keyed her squad net. Hold fire till the seal. Positions locked. Cole sighted through his scope. They're coming heavy, Sarge. Quadruple the scouts.
She watched them pour forward.
Infantry and carapace, shock lances gleaming. Walkers lumbered at flanks. Cannons hot. No drones this wave. Clear lane for bodies. Veyra's play. Drown the point in meat. First ranks splashed into the ford. Debris shifted under treads. They pushed, chanting low, halfway across now. 3/4. Cade thumbed her detonator.
Seal it. Charges bloomed.
Flanks of the ford erupted. Boulders tumbled. Ferrocrete slabs slammed down. Gap narrowed to a kill box 20 meters wide. Rear ranks halted. Shoving forward, trapped vanguard milled, 60 troops strong, boxed by rubble walls. Panic rippled. They fired wild, lances sparking off wrecks. Katie stood. Loudspeaker blared from her pack. This is Staff Sergeant Cade, Terran Defense Force. Drop weapons. Hands up. Surrender now. A carapace sergeant barked back, alien tongue harsh. Troops charged scraps of cover. Cade sighed. Precision only. Corners first. Her squad spoke as one rifle's cracked. Measured bursts. Leader dropped, knee shattered. Second clutched arm, lance clattering. They pinned leaders maimed without killing. Troops froze, eyes wide at the rubble cage. Loudspeaker again. Weapons down. Last warning. One tossed his lance. Then 5. Chain reaction. 60 knelt, crests limp. Cole whistled low. Clean work, Sarge. Reload. Next wave's pissed.
Cade patched her helmet cam to open channel. Alien observer pinged. War archivist Seln.
She routed the feed direct. Cell. Tell your Empress. First wave done. Casualty 0. Hers. 60 surrendered. Dare her to send more. Math doesn't lie. Static then Seln's voice precise. Feed received. Archiving. Empress observes. Across the ford, skiffs hovered. Veyra's crest dominated the display, flaring crimson.
She gestured sharp. Reserves surged anyway.
Double the numbers. Walkers first, blasting the seal rubble. Cade dropped prone. Artie on the forward mouth. Squad. Shift fire to engines. Dirt geysers swallowed lead walkers. Squad fire danced. Joints popped. Tread seized. Second wave bogged, half submerged. Rookie. Trap springing. Company flanking the Empress's ridge. Hold center. Copy. Cade sliced another power cell from a wreck. Fed her EMP nest. Drones reformed overhead. Hers and theirs. She pulsed the nest. Enemy swarms tumbled. Smoking. Troops breached the partial seal. Desperate. Her platoon poured fire. Controlled. Wounding. More surrenders piled. Loudspeaker. Empress. Your troops break. Pull back or we stack them. Selden's feed pinged again. Human. Empress demands parley. Hostilities cease? Cade eyed the ridge. Reserves faltered, milling. Veyra's skiff dipped low. Crest flickering. Tell her. Ceasefire terms now.
Or we demonstrate further.
Silence stretched. Then skiff crests dipped. All of them. Retreat horn wailed. Rourke. Company closing. She's folding. Cade stood amid surrenders. Troops glared but knelt steady. Cole slapped her shoulder. Math wins, Sarge. She keyed open mic. Self. Log this. Fear's a variable. We solve it. Far ridge, Veyra's host peeled back. Skiffs vanished into haze. First victory. But Rourke's tone shifted. Cade, sensors ping orbital. Her fleet repositions. This ain't over.
Cade gripped her rifle. Next math problem incoming.
Empress Veyra's command skiff shuddered as it banked away.
No, stay with Cade.
Wrong POV. Cade watched the skiff flee. Her platoon secured prisoners, zip-tying crests. Cole dragged a Walker pilot clear. Sarge. Private Lena waved from a wreck. Fresh drones. Enemies pulling spares. Cade jogged over. Drones lay tangled, lasers intact. She cut her flashed, mounts free. Rig 'em 2 hours. Swarm denial, Lena nodded, splicing fast. Squad worked seamless, positions reloaded, kill zones refreshed. Rourke, debrief quick.
Empress signals truce talk. Your hold bot it.
Platoon rotates out in 5. Captain's coming down. Affirm. Cade scanned the ford. Sealed tight, bodies none, just wrecked metal and kneeling aliens.
Her math. 0 friendly KIA.
Theirs. Hundreds neutralized. 0 wasted. Sellen's drone hovered close. Lenses whirring. Alien archivist, robes fluttering. First face-to-face. Sellen's translator hummed even. Permit record? She waved him down. Log away.
Show her this.
Cell's pads flickered. Feed looped. Charges sealing, surrenders stacking. Imperial doctrine. Terror overwhelms you. Quantified. Numbers don't care about fear. Checklist does. Cell's crest twitched. Fascination? Empress recalibrates. Fleet holds geosync. Ground host withdraws per parley.
Good.
Kade eyed the sky. Trailers burned high. Her arties work. Tell Veyra. Humans hold lines. Always. Archived. Platoon cheered as Captain Rourke's bird touched down. He strode out, calm as ever. Sergeant Cade. Hell of a stand. Sir.
She saluted crisp. Choke secured.
Prisoners prepped.
He nodded to the kneelers.
60. Clean.
Math, sir. Rourke's eyes crinkled. Platoon's yours permanent. Company owes you. Truce incoming. Your feed tipped it. Sellen's drone lingered. Captain. Query. Human discipline. Replicable? Rourke glanced at Cade. She answered. Training. Not magic.
Drone zipped away.
Kade reloaded her rifle. Truce felt thin. Orbital ping grew. Fleet shadows shifted. Rourke clapped her back. Rest cycle. You've earned it. She watched prisoners march under guard. One met her eye. Carapace sergeant, bandage fresh. Nodded respect. Sky darkened. Engines rumbled distant.
Not retreat. Reinforcement.
Rourke's comm buzzed.
Fleet's dropping heavies. Truce bluff. Hold? She racked around. Affirm. Math time. Walkers crested again. Bigger. Fresher. Veyra doubled down. Cade waved squad in. Positions. No surrender this round. Rifles snapped up. Ford trembled. Game on. Expand properly. From start. Continue placement. Mass charge ordered. Kade sees it. Let first wave cross. 60 troops. Seal with demo. Corner. Loudspeaker. Precision shots. Surrender. Send feed to Selnan, der Empress. Then build to hook. But previous had reserves already coming. Platoon arrived. Integrate. Word count build to 1300. Right full segment. Start. Private Cole slotted beside her. Rifle up. On it, Sergeant.
Cade swept the ford. Reserves boiled over the ridge. Infantry waves. Walkers anchoring flanks.
Empress's crest loomed on skiff feeds hacked into her HUD. Veyra pointed. Horns blared. Mass Private Cole slotted beside her. Rifle up. On it, Sergeant. Cade swept the ford. Reserves boiled over the ridge. Insectoid infantry waves. Walkers anchoring flanks. Empress's crest loomed on skiff feeds hacked into her HUD. Veyra pointed. Horns blared. Mass charge. First wave across. Cade ordered. 60 troops. Hold fire. Cole's scope tracked carapaced forms splashing into the river. Chitin gleamed under double suns. Boots thudded mud. They funneled tight. Perfect choke. 58. To stop 50. 5.
Demo now. Cade slapped the trigger. Charges erupted. Riverbank collapsed in twin blasts.
Mudslide sealed the ford behind the wave. Aliens spun, trapped in the kill box. Walkers halted short, lasers probing smoke. Cade keyed loudspeaker. Surrender or die. Drop weapons. Rifles cracked from her squad's nests. Precision shots. Legs, joints. No kills. Aliens crumpled, mandibles clicking surrender signals. 60 down in 90 seconds. Perfect. Feed to Seln, Kade told Cole. Live drone link. Dare the Empress. Send your truce banner or watch the next wave mulch. Drone zipped skyward. Cole patched it through hacked Imperial channels. Vera's skiff feed flickered. Her crest-helmed face twisted.
Rourke's comm crackled.
Fleet heavies inbound.
Truce was stall. Buy time.
Affirm. Cade racked her rifle. Squad, reload suppressors. Prisoners secure. Carapace forms shuffled under guard. One sergeant, bandaged from first clash, nodded her way. Respect in the mandible twitch. Horns shifted pitch. Truce banner rose, white plasma flare on a staff. Vera's skiff descended the ridge.
Flanked by 20 elite guards. Crest plumes high. No walkers.
Personal parley. Kade signaled squad back. She stepped to Ford's edge alone, rifle slung casual. Mud sucked her boots. Skiff grounded. Ramp dropped. Empress Vera Kalath strode out. 7 feet of iridescent chitin, throne claws clicking. Crown pulsed authority glyphs. Guards fanned, pikes leveled. War archivist Selwyn hovered nearby, drone whirring notes. Vera's voice boomed, amplified. Human Sergeant Cade. Imperial authority demands your surrender. This world yields to the Caliph Dominion. Lay down arms. Your lives spared.
Cade met her multifaceted eyes. No flinch.
Negative, Empress. We hold this ford. Offer stands. Prisoner exchange. All you're captured for hours. Fleet ceasefire talks via orbital relay. Guards shifted. Pikes gleamed. Vera's crest flared red. You presume to bargain? Caesar. Guards lunged. 20 elites. Pikes thrusting. Kada thumbed wrist panel.
Stun grid live.
Invisible field snapped. Bioelectric webs, preset from captured gear, crackled across the landing zone. Guards seized mid-stride. Carapaces locked rigid. They toppled like felled trees. Mandibles gaping silent. Vera froze. Skiff engines whined. Pilot spooked. Sellen's drone darted close, scanning fallen forms. Kadi walked forward. Rifle steady. Grid off in 30.
They're breathing.
Release now?
Vera's claws flexed.
Voice hissed. Insolence. My host, Choice Empress. Kaded Kadin. Loudspeaker echoed her words across the valley. Peace, exchange, withdraw, ceasefire, or public defeat. Your elites down. Feeds live. Sellen's archiving. Dominion watches. Drone feed confirmed. Imperial channels lit. Reserves on ridge gaped. Walkers powered down. Vera's crest dimmed. She signaled. Cade killed the grid. Guards stirred, groaned. Rose shaky, pikes limp. No fight left. They ringed their Empress protective, but eyes on Cade. Vessel approached, voice synthetic through drone. Query. Stun grid. Human design? Imperial tech repurposed. Repurposed, Cade nodded. Your EMP pulse is inverted. Non-lethal. Efficient. Rourke calmed. Fleet vectors shifting. Her heavies peeling off. Good hold. Vera straightened. You trap my guard. Demonstrate capability, but numbers crush competence. Cade gestured prisoners marching up. Human POWs. 5 techs from outpost blinked free. Carapace sergeant traded places, nodding again. Numbers bleed, Cade said. Discipline wins. Corridor east. Relay ceasefire to your fleet.
Or next wave hits demo claymores. Sells drone pulsed data.
Archivist note. Human treats fear as variable. Imperial doctrine. Recalibrate? Vera's eyes narrowed. Skiff ramp beckoned. Guards boarded slow. Dignity cracked. Truce holds. Vera spat. Exchange complete. Withdrawal. Considered. Skiff lifted. Banner trailed. Reserves peeled back. Horns low. Cade watched ridge clear. Cole slapped her shoulder. Math worked, Sarge.
Cade reloaded. Checklist.
Rourke's voice. Platoon inbound. Fleets turning tail. Ceasefire ping confirmed. Ford, quieted. Prisoners, now guests, salvaged gear. Seln's drone lingered. Query, Sergeant. Seln buzzed. Discipline replicable? Training Dominion? Kade eyed it. Training, not magic. Start with, not betting on fear. Drone zipped to Vera's retreating skiff. Sky cleared. Heavies banked away. One human held the line. Empire blinked first, but horns echoed faint. East Ridge. Fresh banners. Cadi swept scope. Not retreat.
Flankers?
Positions, she snapped. Game's not over.
Rifles snapped up. Ford trembled anew.
Private Cole cursed. Light armor. Cadi patched HUD. Skiff scouts. Bearers probes. Testing corridor. Suppressor fire, she ordered. Heard 'em. Bolts lanced. Scouts veered east. Perfect funnel. Rourke. Trap sprung. Artillery inbound. Your hold sold it. Shells whistled. Impacts bloomed. Scouts vaporized. Vera's main host crested far. Full retreat now. Crest banner dipped. Sullen's drone returned solo. Empress concedes. Ceasefire formal. Archivist witnesses. Humans. Extraordinary normal.
Squad cheered low. She waved prisoners to safety.
One step. Empire's bluff broken. Competence etched in mud. But orbital ping spiked. Fleet shadows lingered. Not done. Rest cycle, Rourke said. You've earned it. Cade watched skies. Checklist half done. Next. Win the war. Walkers rumbled distant. Dust settled. Quiet held. For now. Empress Vera's skiff command deck hummed tension. Guards nursed shocks. Selm projected feeds. Katie's grid drop, looped. Archivist, Vera growled. Delete that. Doctrine mandates record. Sullen's core pulsed. Human Kade. One versus host. Fear failed. Competence prevailed. Vera's claws scraped throne. Fleet relay buzzed. Human orbitals locked. Ceasefire terms incoming. Withdraw, she ordered. Host obeyed. Ridge emptied. Kade's Ford stood. Human flag snapped high. One soldier. Empire's lesson. Cod slotted fresh mag. Cole grinned. Never anger humans, huh? She snorted. Don't need anger. Just math. Selden. Final query. Why hold alone? Cade glanced prisoners. Safe now. Lives matter. Waste none. Drone word approval. Zipped away. Rourke. Company's yours on link up. Promote pending.
Ford secured. Invasion stalled.
Human way. Sky darkened. Not threat. Sunset. Victory glowcade pointed down the marked corridor. Who? 5. No bunching. The alien wounded shuffled forward. Claws scraped mud. One limped on 3 legs. Plasma burns sizzling under hasty bandages. Kade's squad flanked the path, rifles low but ready. No one broke line. Truce held on visible proof. Keep pace, she called. Her voice cut the haze. Drones hummed overhead. Selms, Imperial, watched every step. First wounded cleared the choke point. Human medics waited beyond. Stretchers out, no cheers. Just hands extended. Cade scanned the group. 32 accounted. Last one. Go. The final alien paused. Eye stalk swiveled. Human, mercy, math, Cade said. Dead don't surrender. It hobbled through. Corridor sealed behind. Squad exhaled. Rourke's voice crackled in her earpiece. Clean handoff, Sergeant. Empress on open channel. She's signing. Katie keyed her comm. Holding position. Across the ford, Vera's skiff descended. Gold plating gleamed under dying suns. Guards flanked it, weapons slung. Sellen's drone pod hovered beside, lenses whirring. Cod advanced alone. Boots crunched gravel, rifle slung. No backup needed. Vera stepped down, her carapace shimmered, crest high. Claws flexed. Staff Sergeant Cade, you demand terms. Kade stopped 10 meters out, local ceasefire. Your host withdraws to ridgeline. No orbital strikes. We release prisoners unharmed.
Sellen's drone projected the accord.
Hollow text scrolled in Imperial script. Vera's mandible clicked. One soldier dictates to Empire, choke point does. Cade tapped her wrist pad. Shared grid data flashed. Your advance stalled. Fleet locked by hours. Sign. Vera's claws hovered. Selm intoned. Archivist records. Terms equitable. Host intact. Human competence noted. Ink claw pressed pad. Accord sealed. Withdraw, Vera broadcast. Her voice boomed across the valley. Host ranks stirred. Walkers pivoted. Dust clouds rose as legions reversed. Cade unslung her pack, pulled the captured drone link. Imperial tech, jury-rigged with human code. One more item. She tossed it underhand.
Vera caught it mid-air.
Claws probed ports.
False signals, Cade said. Your scouts saw town defenses everywhere. Ghost arrays, pulled from your own playbook, amplified. Veyra's eye stalks widened, link synced, feeds replayed. Phantom turrets, fake minefields, looped patrols. Town stood empty, bluff within bluff. You mimicked our deception? Veyra's voice hissed static, adapted. Cade shouldered her rifle. Lives saved. Yours and ours. Seln's drone pulsed. Record. Human turns imperial fear doctrine against source. Extraordinary normalcy. Veyra stared at the link. Host retreated in ordered waves. No route. Intact. Cade turned. Walked back alone. Mud sucked at boots. Squad waited at the ford, flag snapping. Cole grinned from cover. Sarge, you just handed her ass on a platter. Paperwork, Cade said. Slotted fresh mag. Rourke, Ford, secure. Affirm. Companies inbound. Promote pending. Again. Skies cleared. No shadows. Fleet signatures faded on her HUD. Behind Veyra watched her army pull back. Perfect formation. Untouched.
Selden's drone zipped past Cade.
Query logged. Why reveal the deception? Cody didn't break stride. Trust builds. Next time, negotiate first. Drone banked toward Veyra.
Archivist core glowed brighter. Rourke cut in.
Inbound confirmed. Rest cycle yours. Cade crested the rise. Squad parted. Cheers low, fists bumped. Not victory, she muttered.
Stalemate earned.
Cole snorted. Tell that to the Empress. Her host's running.
Not running. Repositioning. Cade scanned scopes. Ridge filled with walkers.
Still numbers. Still threat. But forward held. Town breathed. Checklist ticked. Night fell clean. Stars pierced haze. Human orbitals blinked high. Silent guardians.
Sellen's final transmission pinged open channel. Imperial record. Staff Sergeant Cade holds alone.
Empire withdraws whole. Competence eclipses fear. Humans redefine war. Veyra's skiff lifted last. Crest banner dipped once. Then gone. Squad settled in. Watches set. Katie leaned on sandbags. Rifle across knees. Never anger humans? Cole whispered. Katie shook head. Don't need anger. Just prep.
Quiet locked in. Rurik company links at dawn.
Bigger fish now. Cade nodded to Dark. Fleet terms next. War turned. One soldier's stand. Empire's lesson etched, but orbital ping spiked faint. Shadows lingered coreward. Not done. Veyra's command deck thrummed assent. Link clutched tight. Guard silent.
Sellen projected finale. Cade solo walk.
Unhurried. Unbroken. Delete, Veyra snapped. Doctrine preserves. Selden's lenses fixed. Human normal. Checklist over chaos. One versus host. We brought legions. She brought math. Claws scraped throne. Fleet relay. Human orbitals demand parley. Veyra's crest flattened. Accept. Full terms. Host crested ridge. Intact legions, arrayed. Victory? No. Cade's.
Cade slotted entrenchment tool.
Dawn edged horizon. Company trucks growled near. Rourke's voice steady. You held the line, Mara. War's pivot. She stamped dirt firm. Trucks halted. Troops spilled out. Salutes snapped. Captain Rourke dropped from lead vehicle. Grizzled. Calm.
Extended hand. Katie gripped.
Sir. Lieutenant Cade. Ford's yours. Troops murmured approval. No fanfare. Selden's drone lingered edge. Watched link up. Archivist, Rourke called. Welcome to lines. Terms hold. Drone, word. Hold. Query. Human ranks promote the lone holder. Katie shouldered pack. Holders earn it. Drone pulsed. Zipped ridgeward. Company dug in. Grids synced. False signals looped anew. Veyra's host watched from afar. Numbers vast. Motionless. One human's competence. Empire's pause. War whispered on. Checklist grew. Rourke clapped shoulder. Orbital parley at noon. Your brief leads. Kade nodded. Canned Valley. Empty Ford. Her stand. Lives wasted. Empire learned. Humanity pressed. Sky lightened. Next beat dropped.